Hello all, this is Dr. Dheeraj Masapu. Welcome to my channel. I'm an anesthesiologist. When I joined my PG in 2009, I actually wanted to start reading from day one. So I asked my senior what books are best or what book should I read in my first year. And this is what he told me. Miller's Anesthesia is a standard textbook. You have to read that only.
Oh no!
So after taking his advice, I bought Miller's Anesthesia textbook in 2009. I think it is around, I don't remember exactly, but near to 10,000 I spent and bought the textbook. It is in 2 volumes and such a big textbooks. And I started reading. But after reading, what I realized is, I still remember what I read first. I started with spinal anesthesia because my assistant professor told me that start with spinal anesthesia because that is what you actually start doing in the beginning. So I started reading. At the end of studying the chapter of spinal anesthesia, I didn't actually understand whether it causes hypotension or hypertension. It causes bradycardia or tachycardia, because how Miller's explains is, or any reference book, how it explains is, according to this study, this is going to happen. According to this study, this is going to happen. So, according to this study, hypotension is seen in so and so people. According to this study, hypertension is seen in so and so. So, such kind of writing will be there in standard textbooks. So, what I feel is that is not the book to be read in first year. So, in the first year, when you plan to study, you have to read books which are simple, to the point, and you get a basic understanding of what briefly is anesthesia. So I don't want you to be in trouble like me in first year, and so what I did is, so I interviewed Dr. Tulika, who has recently passed her MD anesthesia, and she is working as senior resident in our hospital. So I interviewed her, and I just asked her different areas what a first year student should know according to me. One is the anesthesia machine, if you want to know which book is better to read, and airway management, if you plan to study, then which book is better, and the anesthesia drugs, from where should you get, and how to prepare your operating room, where should you get that from, pre-anesthesia assessment, and physiology. So these are the areas which I asked her, and she has given the sources from where she prepared. And also, I don't want you to spend money like me. Up to 10,000 in 2009 is like some 50,000 now. So she has given all the sources which are zero, nearly free. And even the links I'll keep in the description. You can get those books and enjoy reading for your first year. So let's start the interview now. Welcome, Dr. Tulika, to our podcast.
Thank you, sir, for welcoming me here.
So, as a first year student, what are the different areas you think a student should read about, and what books? So, briefly, can you tell us?
I know I also get this question a lot, that where should we start from as a first year PG. So I feel that first thing that you should always concentrate on is how to do a PAC. Because PAC is the basic, and according to the PAC, how to prepare an OT. What drugs will you be using, and little bit knowledge about what drugs you will be using. Then the third thing that you will be doing is airway management. So you should know a little bit about your airway management, all the gradings of airway management. And then because an anesthesia machine you're using, you should know how the anesthesia machine works, what are the different models of anesthesia machine, and then the physiology of the patient. The physiology that you have read in NEET PG will be slightly different now, because you need to know what is the anesthetic implication for that physiology. So you need to go little bit in more detail for the anesthesia per se.
Oh, excellent. There are so many things to cover actually. Let's go one by one. So then let us start with the pre-anesthetic assessment. Can you tell us what books to read for understanding pre-anesthetic assessment?
Sure, sir. This pre-anesthetic assessment will be a completely new area for you, because you will have to deal with the patients and their diseases, and what drugs to stop, what not to stop. Some new disease might come up that you have not been aware of. So what helped me was, in Miller's, one chapter is there, the new Miller's 9th edition, chapter number 31. It covers the whole area of pre-anesthetic evaluation. So if you can just give it a go, read and keep it in your phone. So whenever you're going for PACs, even if you have any confusion, you can quickly open that chapter and go through the particular disease, and it will help you a lot.
Oh, superb. So you guys also read that particular chapter and you'll become a master in pre-anesthetic checkup. And my opinion is that you have to do a lot of PACs, and in that way also clinically you'll understand how to actually do the PAC, and you can write the answer more practically. So thank you, Tulika. So next thing is, next topic would be how to prepare the operating room. Can you suggest some books for that?
So operating room, I don't think there's a proper book for it, but yeah, for the particular instruments you can go with the wards. It has covered the instruments nicely. Rest, it is a practical approach, more of a practical approach. So you need to see day in and day out what all to keep ready for the operation theatre, and the drugs that are needed to induce a patient. Try to decide in your brain whether you will go for a spinal anesthesia or a general anesthesia. Keep the OT ready for the particular situation as well as for the emergency situation. And you can read a little bit every day about one particular drug that you're using, like propofol or midazolam or glyco, that you're using day in and day out. So you can start reading little by little about these drugs daily.
So you told about a book called Wards.
Yes.
So where is this book available? Can you just tell us?
Actually, sir, it's become so easy with Telegram. You can find all these books on Telegram. It's just one download away. So there is a group called Anesthesia Books on Telegram. You can go there, find your books, download them and read them on your iPad or tab or phone, whatever you have.
Wow, that will be very helpful. I will post the link in my YouTube video, and in the podcast also in the description I'll put the link. You can go through that Telegram link. So the next would be airway management. So for airway management, what do you think is the best book or article?
As of first year PG, we need to know just the basics. We don't have to go into the details. So one article helped me a lot. It's an IJ article that covers the basic gradings of airway as well as the difficult airway management. I would like to share that. You can put it in the link, sir. I'll share it to you.
Thank you very much. Even this article, we're going to put it in the link. So that will cover our airway management part. So coming to the last but one, it is anesthesia machine. So anesthesia machine, how do we study?
Anesthesia machine is a little tricky part, because you don't get it's a lot of physics, it's a lot of engineering kind of thing. So what helped me was, little bit you can go read again in wards. You can take the manuals of Dragers and Datex that will be available in your OT. You can little bit read from that, and some YouTube videos are available. So you can go and analyze them, see them, and if it interests you, go into detail gradually.
Oh, thank you very much. So that is how you have to read about anesthesia machine. And next, for the exam, I think we are not talking about the exam. This podcast is mainly for first year students to understand how the anesthesia works. So for exam, we will do a separate podcast with Tulika only. That will come in the later part of the month. So last, I would like to ask you about the physiology. So every anesthetist should understand physiology, but now we have to know more about the clinical physiology. So which book is better for that?
There's a wonderful book that I basically enjoyed studying during my post-graduation, was Basic Physiology for Anesthetists by David Chambers. It's an excellent book that covers physiology, and then there is a separate section after every chapter that covers the anesthetic implications of that physiology. So it is a lovely book. If you are interested, please download it from Telegram and read it. I personally loved it.
So even this is there in the Telegram channel.
In the Telegram.
Wow, I think you guys, if you go into the Telegram, you can go through all the books, like wards for how to prepare the OT and drugs, and you can also get the physiology book there. And I think your problem is sorted out. I think with this knowledge, I think students can start preparing well for the first year. And first year, you don't start reading for your exam and don't see the question papers. What you have to do is, ideally, you have to understand anesthesia, how it works, and try to be a good anesthetist till the last 3-4 months. Maybe that is the time. Last 3-4 months, maybe is the time to read the question papers. So, what do you think? You suggest the same? Or?
Same. Try to learn the basics in first year, second year. Exam oriented study should only be in final year, not in first year and second year. Especially the question paper based study should only be in final year.
Yeah. Thank you, Tilika. Thank you for coming into channel, and hope we'll do more podcasts with you.
Yes, sir. I will really enjoy with doing these podcasts with you. It is really fun. Thank you so much for inviting me, sir.
That's it, guys. Thank you for following the video till now. And next, many people are asking me how to connect with me. That is through Instagram. Masapu Dheeraj is my Instagram ID. I'll reply to all your messages. You can follow me there. And the second thing is that I'm going to do several videos in future, which will help the anesthesia students in first year, and like this video. And also, I'm doing several comparison videos with other branches like emergency medicine and ENT ophthalmology, which will help people when they're choosing seats. And also, I'm doing leadership lessons with Dr. Shishir Chandrasekhar in future to help improve your soft skills in future. So these are some of the videos which are in the loop. Maybe in the next 3 to 6 months, they'll be coming. So that's it about this. And the last thing is that I have a podcast you must be knowing by now, and the link is there in the description. So why you have to follow my podcast is that every small topic I cannot do a video. So what I'm doing is small topics I'm covering in podcasts, and you can follow me there. So when you're driving or when you're jogging, you can listen to my podcast. So every podcast will get you some info if you're an anesthesia person or anesthesia student particularly. Okay, see you guys as usual. Dr. Dheeraj Masapu logging off. Roger that.